Okay, good afternoon. So these questions actually came out in the previous PSLE examinations back in 2018. This is a very interesting questions. Okay, number one, the student need to interpret these two graphs. Okay, the first graph is called the rainfall graph, as being shown here. So it's good to highlight this part, the rainfall graph. Secondly is the number of dengue cases graph. Okay, so you can see here, there are 12 months being represented from January to December. Okay, and similarly, it corresponds January to December for the number of dengue cases. Okay, for students who just come in, just listen first. Don't ask any questions. After that, then you ask questions. So from January, the amount of rainfall is almost zero, and then it increases. Okay, rainfall is calculated in the units of millimeters, mm. Okay, so you can see this pattern, right? It's reflective of the number of cases. So this is called a cause and effect. So the amount of increased rainfall result in the increase in the number of dengue cases. So you must be able to form this idea. So they say that using the information above to answer part A and part 2. So number one, they say state the relationship. Okay, state the relationship means very easy. But however, after you state, right, you need to explain this relationship, which is slightly more difficult. So by stating, this is the part 1 answer. So you mentioned as the amount of rainfall increased from March to August. Okay, March to August, you can see here, March to August increase. So you limit yourself in your analysis to this part, to this. Okay, so you can annotate using a pencil. Okay, similarly from here to here. Okay, March to August. So you just state that as the amount of rainfall increased from March to August, the number of dengue cases also increased. So this is a direct relationship. Okay, now you need to explain why is this the result of this. Okay, because as you know, mosquito, they need water or stagnant water for breeding ground. So you mentioned mosquitoes have more places to breed as rainfall increases. Therefore, more mosquito will develop to spread dengue. Okay, next. Question 2. The number of dengue cases takes about 3 to 4 weeks to change. So this is an important fact that you can highlight or underline. Okay, this part. 3 to 4 weeks to change after the amount of rainfall changes. So let me highlight this part. 3 to 4 weeks to change. Okay, this part. Okay, dengue develop about 2 weeks after a person is bitten by an Aedes mosquito. Okay, now they say give another reason. Okay, give another reason why the number of dengue cases does not change immediately. Okay, the keyword is does not change immediately after the amount of rainfall changes. So this question actually tests your understanding about the life cycle of the mosquito, because only at the adult stage, the mosquito will spread the dengue disease. So you mentioned the mosquito has a 4-stage life cycle. From egg stage to the adult stage takes about 3 to 4 weeks. So that's the reason. Okay, because after the mosquito lay the eggs, right, it can't spread. It need to develop through the egg stage. Next stage is the larva, pupa, then adult stage. So actually, this questions appears in the actual PSLE 2018 paper. I believe your school have bought the booklet. Is 20, the last 3 years, 21, 20, and 19. So 18 is 1 year before. So it's worth visiting this question, which I have showcased here. And next part, they say, male mosquito do not bite, which is actually a fact. And they do not spread dengue fever. When a male mosquito carry bacteria W, mates with a female mosquito, that means they have the sexual reproduction. But this male bacteria, male mosquito, has been so-called injected by NEA officer, right? Actually, you can Google NEA. This is called the Wolbachia virus, Wolbachia bacteria. They produce it and put inside the male mosquito. So when it mates with a female mosquito, when the female mosquito lay the eggs, right, the eggs will not hatch. Okay, So this is some sort of like biotechnology, control the increase in the mosquito population. So they say in 2016, male mosquito carry bacteria W were released into some housing estates in Singapore. The number of dengue cases in this housing estate decreased after the release of this mosquito. Explain why. So you need to mention this part. Since the mosquito eggs cannot be hatched, therefore adult mosquitoes which spread dengue cannot be developed because they cannot hatch. So cannot hatch means the mosquito, the life cycle is being like paused already or ceased. Over time, the population of mosquito will decrease, leading to the decrease of dengue cases. So this is something quite interesting. I will show you this part. Okay, now I will screen share to show you about this interesting.
There are several mosquito species in Singapore that can spread diseases. But when it comes to dengue, the main culprit is the Aedes aegypti mosquito, aka the dengue mosquito. To control dengue, we need to control Aedes aegypti, but they often breed in hard-to-find places. So we had to get smart. Our solution? Project Wolbachia, Singapore.
So just now the bacteria W is actually they use this to shorten because quite hard to pronounce. Wolbachia is a bacteria. So this bacteria W is this one, the Wolbachia bacteria. Let's continue.
Over the last few years, we've been working on using male Wolbachia aedes mosquitoes to control the dengue mosquito population. Releases of male Wolbachia aedes mosquitoes at Tampines and Yishun have been successful, with a 90% suppression of dengue mosquitoes in existing release sites. But what is Wolbachia and how does it work? Well, Wolbachia is a safe, naturally occurring bacterium found in more than 60% of insect species. When a male Wolbachia aedes mosquito mates with a female dengue mosquito, her eggs won't hatch.
So this is the marvelous part. When they mate, right, the eggs won't hatch.
So, continued releases of male Wolbachia aedes mosquitoes will eventually lead to fewer dengue mosquitoes and dengue cases. Sounds like magic? No, it's just science. To fight dengue, we are releasing male Wolbachia aedes mosquitoes in parts of Tampines, Yishun, Choa Chu Kang, and Bukit Batok. Don't be alarmed if you spot more male mosquitoes in your neighborhood. Male Wolbachia aedes mosquitoes do not bite or spread disease, nor will they attract more female mosquitoes. The less dengue mosquitoes there are in the community, the less male Wolbachia aedes mosquitoes need to be released. You do not need to do anything differently. Just continue to do your part by carrying out the Mozzie wipeout regularly.
Okay, so this is the part about how science can be put into action. So we come back to the question here. Okay, so this question actually appears in the 21-8 PSLE science paper. Okay, so I have discussed about this, and then now I will continue with the next question.